about relationships, because I see this like in my world. I get a lot of people who they want to outreach to strangers. That for whatever reason, agency owners always think the journey begins with outreach, and there's a preconceived idea that there's some magic script that if you just send this words, they're going to give credit cards. And as you know, obviously that's about as realistic as like if you use this magic pickup line, women will throw their underwear at you. It's more like, how can we open the door to a relationship that will flower and blossom later, because that's what we're really building.
Well, this cold outreach Dream 100 thing, it's wrong from the start. It pollutes the agency owner, because I believe the agency owner should start with authority, for the same reason that a surgeon in the emergency room carries a lot more authority than a used car salesperson or door-to-door person selling solar. Because that surgeon in the emergency room, you had to go to the surgeon because you got in a car accident or something happened. And so you trust the surgeon. You're not saying, I want to talk to 3 other surgeons. You're not arguing about the price when you go to the hospital, because it's inbound. But the common response when I mention this is, yeah, but I don't have the authority and I don't have all these inbound leads. I'm not well known. So I have to go door to door to generate leads, because if I don't generate these leads, I can't pay my bills. But that's completely wrong, because all it does is reinforce the fact that you don't have authority. So when you do get those cold leads onto a discovery call for just 15 minutes or whatnot, then you have to try to convince them of a problem. You have to try to sell them that
you can feel it almost too. You can feel the arm foldedness of like, sell me, big boy.
Yeah. I was a keynote at one of the Infusionsoft conferences. And when I got off a stage, some old dude came up to me and said, hey, go ahead and sell me. Go ahead, here's your opportunity to try to make some money. Go ahead and sell me on what your packages are. And I said, hey man, with all due respect, I'm not here to sell anybody. If you like what we're talking about on the processes on how to run Facebook ads to drive more leads, then I welcome you to check it out. And if you have questions in particular about some nuances about how we do stuff or about our packages, happy to answer your question. And he said, dude, you are terrible at sales, because if you were good at sales, you would just be salivating the chance, because this could turn into a customer. I could even be a client of yours. And I said, there's a whole, no offense, there's a whole line of people that want to work with us. I don't even need any more clients. I have more clients than I know what to do with. And that's why our biggest thing is hiring and training. If we train more people, we can satisfy the demand. I'm not here to convince anybody of anything, right? The hospital is not there to convince you that you're in pain and you need a liver transplant or a heart operation.
Yeah.
Right. We know people are sick. We know the majority of people out there are sick and obese. Now, if they want help, we'll help them. But if they don't want help, I'm not going to waste all the time to try to convince them they need help. I'm going to take the ones that come into the hospital. Yeah, but I can't get people to come into the hospital. I'm a new digital agency. I don't have 30 years of experience like you do. Great. Then partner, like you said, Frankie, with someone who does have authority. Partner with a Josh Nelson. Partner with someone else who's bigger.
Can I just add real quick on this, Dennis? Because when I started in 2016 in the lawyer space, like I literally didn't even know a lawyer in my personal life. Like I knew 0 lawyers. So the idea that you have to have, and what I did, one of my first moves is I had to Google it because I didn't know, but I'm like, who are the top lawyers on earth? And I reached out to the largest personal injury law firm, which is Morgan & Morgan in Orlando, for those of you guys who don't know. And I just said, hey, I love what you guys are doing. I think it's really cool. I'd love to interview you and share your thoughts on growing a law firm. And they said, and this is Frankie Finn with 0 following. Nobody knows who I am. I got no podcast. I got no proof of anything. I don't even have a show. There's nothing I can reference. And they said, well, does July 27th at 2 p.m. work, or, Friday at 2 p.m. And so you can like, there's nothing that stops you from going in and connecting with the big players in your space and borrowing that. And I found in my space, there's a huge difference between Frankie Finn saying, hey, I'm Frankie Finn, and this is the cool way to grow a law firm, versus like, hey, I was having a discussion with Morgan & Morgan, John Morgan, about how he grew his personal injury law firm to the biggest on earth. And here are some of the things he said that were really important. It's a much more powerful thing.
That's exactly the thinking that every agency owner needs to understand.